Welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch, and today I'm going to recap this past Saturday's heavyweight title fight, which involved Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder in a rematch of their 2018 draw. Now, if you didn't catch it, Rob had his initial reaction, to which, both him and I were texting each other back and forth talking about the fight as we watched it. So you get a little bit of my reaction mixed in with his reaction. But now what we're going to do is we're going to actually break down the action that happened in the ring and find out why Tyson Fury was able to be as dominant as he was in this fight. So I want you all to hit that subscribe button, because you're going to get the actual technical breakdown of this. Hit that bell icon so you can get more coverage from Rob and myself. And also leave comments, because we want to hear what you think as well, in addition to what we have to say. So let's get into it. Straight out the gate, round one. Tyson Fury does exactly what he says he was going to do. If you watch our preview video, Rob and I questioned whether or not he would, one, do what he said, which was come directly forward and stay in Deontay Wilder's face. And secondly, once he got hit, would he continue to do so? We got both of those questions answered in round one. However, there are a few other things that were being done that also played into how this game plan was so effective. So let's talk about that. One, this is where the knocks on Wilder became the disadvantages that allowed Tyson Fury to take over and win this fight. So we all talk about the lack of seasoning that Deontay Wilder has, being that he hasn't had a lot of experience in the ring. He had a very short amateur career before going pro, and they built him up that way. And a lot of people like to falsely say that he doesn't have technique. What it is he doesn't have that classically trained technique that we all like to see, but he does have technique, because it doesn't matter how powerful you are. If you can't deliver that punch, you're not knocking out 41 guys. It's just not happening. You're not knocking out Cuban amateur standouts like Luis Ortiz. You're not knocking out anyone, basically, if you don't know how to deliver a punch. So he does have technical skill. He just doesn't have the full polish that other people would like to see, or in someone like Tyson Fury, who had like 10 plus years of amateur experience before turning pro. So because of that, he does not really utilize lateral movement. So Tyson Fury was able to push him to the ropes very easily every single time. And you notice he rarely threw any right hands until he got Wilder to the ropes, which he was able to do very easily because Wilder did not have that lateral movement to maneuver about the ring in a good way. So he's able to pressure Deontay Wilder and also use both his size and Wilder's size to Fury's advantage. Wilder is usually a lot smaller as a heavyweight. He put on weight for this fight. Rob and I wondered how that was going to work out. We also wondered how Tyson Fury's weight was going to play into it, being as we did not see him employing such a physical style. Not many people did. Even if they said he was going to be in his face, we didn't expect him to pull a Ricky Hatton, Andre Ward, Bernard Hopkins type of performance out. And that's what this was. So he's able to smother Wilder, which is something that people have done before. Arthur Spilker was able to do it to a little bit of success. Chris Arreola was able to do it with a little bit of success. However, those guys ended up falling victim to the power. So what did Tyson Fury do to mitigate that? There's two ways that a lot of people conventionally see that you fight someone who has a very powerful right hand. One is how Bernard Hopkins fought Tito Trinidad, Kelly Pavlik, and Jermaine Taylor, which is to move away from it. and keep them at the edge of it so they can't reach you. The other one is to attack it head on and tie it up, which is what Tyson Fury did in this fight. You can see when he got to the inside, that left hand was always occupying the right hand of Deontay Wilder. So he could not get it off even if he wanted to. It was a brilliant strategy that he deserves credit for, that most people did not see coming. Even, when we thought that he would walk him down, he still used distance. And he decided to go right at Deontay Wilder and stay in his chest, which he did to an extent in the first fight, but not enough, clearly, because the fight ended up a draw and he was knocked down twice. This time, that was not the case. Also, we saw Wilder able to land a couple of right hands that looked and sounded like they landed flush. However, an old veteran move that we've also talked about, something that you've seen, Juan Manuel Marquez, Canelo. You see a lot of Mexican fighters employ this technique, and some of the more gritty American fighters as well, where when that punch comes, he turns slightly to catch it right at the end and ride it out. So when you heard it in the ring, it sounded like Wilder landed flush. But if you actually watch the replay, you can see Fury see it coming. He turns his shoulder and his head and rides the shot out. That is some high level defense right there. Now, we're known to see Tyson Fury duck and bob and weave, but to ride punches, that's not something we've seen often. Haven't seen this Tyson Fury since he fought Steve Cunningham in his U.S. debut. And this was several years ago, right before he fought Klitschko. And seeing that fight, a fight in which he was dropped as well, you're not thinking too much of Tyson Fury. Then he goes and he does what he does to Klitschko. You see him, go off the deep end, come back, fight Deontay Wilder to a draw. You got to give Tyson Fury his credit. The man has done something that no one else has done before. There have been people who've taken layoffs, but no one who did that amount of damage to their body. Come back, defend the lineal championship, take the most prestigious belt in boxing from what was perceived to be the baddest man on the planet. He wasn't the baddest technique-wise, but we all knew if he landed that right hand, it was going to be a bad night for whoever was on the other end of it. And Tyson Fury took that away. So you have to give him credit for that. So the rounds go on. I think Wilder did really good in the first and second rounds, but after that, it was all downhill. I think one of the judges and a few of the people scoring ringside gave Wilder the second round, which, like I said, it was really close. And when you hear those shots live, you think he's landing good, clean shots. So they don't have the benefit of the replay as other people do, and then can score it in hindsight. They're scoring it live. And when I watched it, I also thought that he won that round. Then the third round comes, and something that Rob and I talked in the preview video that Wilder should use to take advantage on Fury, Fury used it on Wilder. So go back and watch our preview video. It was 30 minutes. We had a lot of information. We went over a lot of technical things. And one of those things was taking advantage of your fighter dipping off to the right, which is something that Tyson Fury did a lot in the first fight. Didn't do it all in this fight. Maybe a couple times because Wilder got in range to land that right hand in a way that it would not have been able to be rolled. And that's when Fury ducked. Once again, that ring IQ. So we talked about Wilder's increasing ring IQ, but it still wasn't enough to overcome Fury's ring IQ. You got to give both guys credit for that. So in the third round, Deontay Wilder's trying to duck out of the way of that right hand, but Fury's coming right over the top, expecting it, and he ends up hitting Wilder right back here in the back of the head, which people are going to say is illegal. However, look for the rules. If you present the back of the head when someone's throwing a shot and it lands there, it's not illegal. If he intentionally threw it after Wilder put his head down, then that's illegal. So Wilder ducks into the shot and it just happens to hit him in the back of the head. And this is when the wheels completely fell off. So we see blood pouring out of his ear. It's starting to swell in his face. So there's profuse bleeding coming from inside of his head. Never a good thing. So his balance is completely gone. I have not seen if it's actually been confirmed that there was an injury to his eardrum, but that's what it looked like. And like Rob said, and they mentioned during the telecast, your ear is very key to your balance. With that gone, the power delivery was now gone. So at this point, Deontay Wilder did not have that ability to use that eraser that he has. That on top of Fury smothering him, roughing him up, working to the body, which is something that Deontay Wilder was doing to good success in the first 2 rounds. And then Tyson Fury started doing it as well. When he's bigger, he looked to be stronger in the ring. He was utilizing it in a way that would sap the strength out of Wilder on top of his balance already being gone. And like I said, the fight was pretty much over from there. Wilder, to his credit, tried to stay in that fight, tried to land that Sunday punch, but it just was not there. And he, like when he was trying, you could see like his legs weren't under him. His balance was gone. It was pretty much a matter of time. So, you know, the 4th round, he kind of survives that. The 5th round, he gets dropped again with the double left combination from Tyson Fury. One of the few combinations that he threw in the center of the ring. Still beautiful work. And at this point, I was thinking they should stop this fight. It's clear that Wilder's legs aren't there. He is having very, very big problems just staying up. However, when you're in the heat of the moment, because as a coach, I've been there myself. I've been ringside with someone thinking that they could do something that they couldn't. And Deontay Wilder was thinking that he could do something that he couldn't. So we cannot fault him. I see a lot of people saying, oh, well, he should get rid of his trainers. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? How many mistakes have you made in the heat of the moment of doing something? And have you ever even been in the upper echelon of any type of competition to even think that your opinion is valid on that? Probably not. So his corner is still trying to give him the instructions on how to win the fight, which were correct instructions. They told him he needed to stand his ground. They told him he needed to get just a little bit of separation and then fire that right hand. Wilder just did not have the physical ability to do so, which they'll probably watch the tape and see that in hindsight, which is why people go back and watch the tapes. In the heat of the moment, they wanted to give him every opportunity he could to win. And I don't fault them for that. Because as you see, he was very upset when they stopped the fight. I thought in between the 6th and 7th rounds, when JD's was talking to him and like kept wiping the blood out of his ear and was like talking in his ear, I thought he was telling him he was going to stop the fight. But then I heard him actually giving him instructions. And I was like, man, they should stop this fight. But like I said, I've only taught people in the amateurs. I've gone up to high levels in the amateurs, but not for the heavyweight championship of the world. So I'm not going to knock him for trying to let his guy go out in a blaze of glory. They throw the towel in round 7 after Tyson Fury once again delivers a barrage of punches, which he got full leverage on. He's feigning his jab with Wilder in the corner. He steps back and then pulls the Manny Pacquiao move where he just rolls that left hand twice. Boom, straight down the middle. All of his weight going forward. I'm surprised Wilder took that shot, being in the condition he was. Fury throws another flurry. Most of those are missing, but still, Wilder's in no condition to win this fight. And his other cornerman, Mark Breland, did the right choice by stopping the fight. And like I said, I personally would have waited till the end of the round or done it before then. But at that point, when you see somebody you care about getting battered like that, he was right in the decision he made. They should have thrown in that towel at any point after the 5th round, and they gave Deontay Wilder a chance. He just couldn't do it. So you're going to hear a lot of people say really asinine things like Deontay Wilder was exposed. How was he exposed when we knew what we got coming in? We've always known that Deontay Wilder's technical skill was not going to be on par with the top heavyweights. We always knew that. So there's nothing different that we saw here. We just saw somebody able to execute it to perfection. Like we said, you have to be perfect against Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury was perfect. Because if he's the bum that the fans are claiming he is, then this win means nothing. And this win is huge. Tyson Fury proved a lot of people wrong on Saturday night. Tyson Fury made a lot of people happy on Saturday night, most notably his family and friends and supporters. And he deserves full credit for that. Deontay Wilder deserves full credit for trying, even though he was not in this fight. For all the shortcomings he had on classically trained boxing technique to come as far as he did and make the money he made, to get the publicity he got, he deserves all the credit for that as well. They both have beautiful families. They both made a crap ton of money. Let these men live. So let's talk about what possibly could be next. Rob and I already talked about it on a preview video. The winner of this fight has to fight Anthony Joshua for all the marbles. It's got to happen. That's the biggest fight probably in European heavyweight history. But the fight for all the marbles, it was just going to be one of the biggest fights, period. Now you got an all-UK showdown between Joshua and Fury that cannot be made outside of this year. I know Joshua has been in talks to fight Pulev. Somebody get that man some step-aside money. We need to see Fury and Joshua, and we need to see it immediately. So we will break that fight down when it happens. Preliminarily, I'm taking Fury. The guy that showed up this past Saturday, I don't see anybody beating him. The guy that showed up Saturday, if you put that in any weight class, I don't see that guy getting beat. Except for maybe someone like a Mayweather or a Lomachenko, someone who uses a lot of lateral movement that can stave off someone being in your face, being physical. But it's going to take a special somebody to negate that type of game plan. So I think that's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, leave your thoughts below. Hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're all there. Leave your thoughts below, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, fight on. Round 1.
won and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and gone. My fists are on fire, I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage, keep thinking that it's a game. I kick ground, hurricane. I told them I don't play, I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.